Um, Hello YouTube. Uh, where do I start? Firstly, I'm very sorry for not making any videos for a very long time. Now moving on. Um, I saw this new program on Steam. Okay, it's not really new. It's pretty damn old. Not very old, but like relatively. I believe it's called comipo. Comipo, not pro, po. It's apparently a software to create manga, I believe. Um, there are a few what's it called out there, videos on this, but yeah, there are a few. And there are also a few other manga creators out there, so I just decided I might as well just ramble on and on about this. You can get this from the website and from Steam, but before anyone starts opening their wallets to start buying this, I think it's best you guys have a good look at what it does. So let's get started. Um, Before we get started, I might as well just say, you know what? Never mind about that. Um, so you want to make a comic, right? So yeah, you can pretty much rant on and on. So you just decide what type of comic you want. Generally, I pick on this, then I pick on panel types, blah blah blah, very standard stuff. Then it makes the panels, and from the panels you drop in your characters. Now this is where it gets a bit tricky because it has its preset characters. Now yeah, I think I better speak about this now because it is very important. When you actually get the program, you only have 4 character costumes. Not necessarily costumes, but yeah, I'll go through the character creation because this part is a bit important. You only get 1, 2, and yes, 1, 2. Those are the only 4 costumes you start off with. The others you kind of like have to buy them with, you know, their downloadable updates, and you think that okay, fine, those 4 are kind of like that, kind of like limits your options, but not really, because yeah, it is limiting and it's also not limiting at the same time, because I would say this is meant to be grown up. No, this is meant to be students. Yeah, the very first setup you get is just students and grown up. Student, teacher. Those are the first 2 you get. So that's student male, student female, teacher female. And with students, obviously you can't change the uniform, like say remove his tie, but you can alter the color a bit, which gives you a bit of variety. So like say that's one student, there's another student, I mean this is the teacher, so you can now have a bit of variety. And you can also change the eyes, derpy looking, eye type, eye colors, eye shape. Then you change the hair and stuff. Now certain hair types are attached to certain costumes, so that's something you also have to notice. And yeah, it doesn't really give much variety, but by the time you make a lot of changes, then you could end up creating something different, which is pretty different from the standard beginning startup character, which was that. Now, moving on. I'm not gonna keep that character. This is just basically a rant on and on about what this software does. I've pretty much gone halfway, so I better get cracking. You drop the character, and change the emotion. This is pretty important. With the emotion, you can, as you can see, you can change the emotional states. And don't worry about the emotions when you change them. The face pretty much stays the same, so it's just the emotion that changes, so you don't have to worry about it messing that up. Then you could also change their actions. Now, this is also something else that's limiting, very limiting, because in total you only have 188 actions. That's it. Which kind of like limits what you can do. So this means you can't really make, you know, full-blown Dragon Ball Z style fight scenes, because you can, but it's very limiting, and it doesn't really have a ragdoll option. I would have said that a ragdoll option where you can actually create your own animation, not necessarily animation, your poses, would have helped. And another thing that would have helped would have been a custom creator, where you can actually use different segments of different costumes. Like you have the base format for male and female, then you have different costume parts. Like, you know, you could have this lady's shirt with this lady's trousers, mix and match. That way you get to make a more varied choice, and I probably have like 3 minutes. And yeah, that's moving on from that then. But this does have a lot of variety, because like you can put in items, you then get to rotate it about a bit, because each character is 3D in a 2D plane, so you can actually, it gives a lot of variety and options on that. There are lots of characters. When you start, you only get school, so you have to download others, you have to buy other stuff, additions to that. And yeah, I might as well jump to something that I made. That's if I can find it. I know, pretty dumb. Pausing. And I've returned. And apparently, I think I found it. It's right here. Oh snap, I deleted it. Pausing again. Actually, I found out I didn't delete it. I know, derpy. This is pretty much what I made. I just basically ranted on and on about stuff. Yeah. In the end, when you make your stuff, you can then export it to PDF. Add a PDF, image file, do whatever you want. You make your characters, you then make the speech bubbles, you put the speech bubbles, you add your text, you add your backgrounds, and yeah. A lot of these backgrounds, again, the basic pack you get is very limiting, but despite it being limiting, again, it can also not be so limiting. It depends on how you look at it. I must add that, yeah, this is a bit, yeah, it does take a bit of getting used to, but most of it is just basically drag and drop. Kind of like how Flash, from previous HTML that you had to code from actual HTML code, you can just do it with, you know, drag and drop type, and from just that you could actually make something decent. And right now I think I'm running out of time, but yeah, before you start, it's best you have an idea of what it is you want to make. And again, don't expect to make something professional, it's just something for fun. That's it, and I've got to go. Have fun, YouTube.